meanings and the connotations while utilization in the environmental and the geographical terminology. We have the significant conceptual frame or the significant conceptual meaning of these terms and the concepts. Before going to discuss in the detail about the desertification and its impact over the environment, let us discuss about the background of this United Nations conventions in the United Nations conventions to combat desertation formations, how it has been formed, how it has been established, and how it comes into the public floor or the global agenda. The United Nations General Assembly, while it's meeting in 1994, has established the United Nations conventions to combat desertification. It was 17 June. That's why World Day to combat desertifications are announced, that the legally binding countries who have accepted these conventions and the regulations must adopt to the rules and regulations of these laws and the agreements, which has been visualized before 1994 in the Rio de Janeiro summit of the 1992. So 17th June of 1994 was the day when this combat desertification and drought and the conventions was established. So we celebrate today is the 17th June, and so we celebrate this United Nations Day of the United Nations World Day to combat desertification and drought. This is the background of the celebrations of the day, because of the implementations of that rules and agreement among the countries who have participated in that UNCCD conventions. UNESCO has the responsibilities of having two sectors of its analysis, or two sectors of its agenda. One is the International Hydrological Program and Man and Biosphere Program. Through these two programs, it has established the norms to celebrate and to organize the theme and organize the way or the environmental mechanisms or the environmental program regarding to combat the problems of desertification and the drought. Desertification is one of the important global challenges. It is not only the challenge at the local level, but it occupies the whole planet. And we know that this is one of the important environmental challenges that is coming from the nature or coming from the environment, but it is caused by the various factors and the various elements, either the socio-economic, cultural, and the technological elements that are involved into the causations and involved into the acceleration of the desertification program and over the global, local, and the regional level. And desertification is generally perceived like the moving of the sands towards the fertile lands, or the moving of the sand dunes with the airborne particles that are going and approaching towards the areas, most significantly the arid or the semi-arid or the sub-humid regions, and jointly these regions are called as the dry lands. About 1/3 of the land resources of the world are degraded, and I think that more than 2/3 of the countries, or the 2 billion of the populations, are affected with the problems of the desertification. That's why this challenge is facing not only by the countries who are living in that dry lands area, but these challenges are facing and experienced by the countries who are nearby to that lands. Even the humid regions, or even the areas which are nearby to the dry lands area, they are also being affected by these land degradations process, by these desertification process. In India, about 69% of the areas which are living in the arid climatic zones are observed these characteristics of the desertification. And I think that most of the developing countries which are living in the tropical areas, in the tropical climates, or the subtropical climates, which are still poor as well as which are developing in nature, are experiencing more about these problems, except the China and the little bit the Arizona or the US Californian desert of the United States of America. Most of the countries which are experiencing these problems are located in the tropical belt, in the subtropical region. So these problems are acute for the countries who are struggling with the economic and the fragile political as well as the economic and the development level, are having more affected by these environmental problems. Let us see what is the meaning of the desertification and its the associated terminology that associated with that with the desertification. Desertification generally indicates about becoming desert, a process of the land degradations where the fertile land or the fertility of the soil is being degrading, where the water volume of the soil is decreasing, where the forestations as well as the areas of the dry lands faces the problems of the reductions of the nutrients of the soil of that region. Among them, the weathering and erosion causes the disintegration of the soil. That is the natural elements, that is the natural process where we see the temperature, the elements of the weather and the climate, just like the precipitation, the temperature, humidity, as well as the wind, surface runoff. These are the elements of the physical disintegrations or the chemical disintegrations of the soil particles or the rocks materials or the topsoil of the materials. But these fragmentation, disintegration, as well as the dismantling of the rock particles of the areas, when it is carried by, that is called as the weathering. But when it is carried by the agents of the erosion, like the wind, like the surface runoff or the river water, most importantly, the wind and the glaciers are the important agents of the erosion that carries these materials towards the another land. That's why in our sense or in our conceptions, we have the meaning of the desertification as the process of the wind that carries that sand particles, fragmented materials, dismantled materials, disintegrated materials towards the surrounding areas, and it deposits and absorbs the soil water, and that causes for the infertility of the ground and infertility of the soil, and that reductions of the farming activities, and as well as that causes further about the food insecurity in that regions. About the 50% of these agricultural lands are influenced by the desertification process, either that is the severe desertifications or at the moderate level desertifications. And about among that 50% lands that is remain free from the desertification, that also experiences in somehow a little amount of the soil crisis or the agricultural crisis, because of the another reasons the land is degraded in that areas also. That increasing rate of populations, especially in the areas of the developing countries like India and as well as the China, Nigeria, where the population pressure is more over the unit area of the land, and that causes for the demand of the more food productions that we require, as well as the huge pressure on the land as changes the land utilization pattern. The pattern of the land utilizations also reduces the carrying capacity of the environment. The environment has, the ecosystem has the certain level of the its optimum level of the sustenance that it can provide. If the ecosystem is being damaging, either in the different ways, either land degradations or in the ecosystem losses, or the species losses or the habitat losses that causes for the reductions of the overall values of the carrying capacity of the particular biome. And that is another danger, where the population and its demands and are increasing and land is decreasing because of that degradations process of the desertifications and the losses of the other minerals from the soil. Let us see about the associated terms that is generally associated with the desertifications. So in the associated terms, we see about the drought, that is widely associated with the desertification. But drought is more wider in terms of the and associated. Drought indicates about the reduction of the precipitation or the reduction of the rainfall amount. If any areas has the average rainfall of the 60 centimeter of the particular rain spell, but in a particular months of the monsoon season or the particular rainy season, that amount of rainfall is below average, then the state government or the national government or the national disaster authorities can say and can regulate that these areas are the drought areas having the drought characteristics. The rainfall below average, that indicates about the problems in hydrological cycle. If there is the reductions of the precipitation and more evaporation, if there is the reductions of the soil volume of the water, or the evapotranspiration is more, evaporation from the soil, evaporation from the leaves, plant leaves, or the transpiration from the plant leaves, or the soil pore, or the soil voids, that causes for the overall net rainfall. Net rainfall, or the amount of the precipitation minimizes and subtracted by the amount of the evaporation rate. And if that values of the rainfall generally about more than which is between the 0.5 to 0.65 indicators, it means that the 5 to 65% of the amount of the precipitation is evaporated back, then we can say that the problems are acute and the land is degraded rapidly. So drought means the reduction of the rainfall below average level in the particular area. Drought is announced by the certain authorities from the disaster and the government agencies. This is the problem related to the weather and climate, and it is naturally occurred and but aggravated and accelerated by the human activities. If there is the rapid deforestations, if our agricultural activities are not scientific, or the crop rotation is not practiced, if our land is prone to that of the overutilization of the fertilizers and the water logging problems, then the drought may be accelerated, and that drought conditions may be and the duration of the drought may be increased. But desert has the different meanings. Desert is classified as the natural regions, and most of the hot deserts of the world are located in the 30 to 40 degree north and the south latitudes, and that belongs to the subtropical high pressure belt areas. Subtropical high pressure belt areas are those areas where there is the divergence of the wind, and we see that there are the planetary winds like the northeast trade winds on the one hand, and the westerlies on the other hand are found in the divergent wind characteristics, and that areas are known as the harsh latitude. In these areas, we see the most of the deserts of the world, like the Saharan desert, desert of the Arizona, Thar desert is also there, Kalahari desert. These deserts are in subtropical belt that are near to the tropical region from 30 to 40 degree north and 30 to 40 degree southern latitudes. In this area, we experience about the descending of the air from above to the ground, and that causes to increase the compression of the air. If the air is decreasing down, And because of the adiabatic rate of heating, the compression of the air causes for the increase of the temperature at the rate of 6 degrees Celsius per 1,000 meter, when the air which comes down, which are moving towards the horizontal level from the above to the ground, it compresses the air, and that decrease the volume of the air, and decrease of the volume of the air causes for the increase of the temperature, and that leads to the aridity of the atmosphere. And that arid environment, subarid areas or the dry land areas, experiences these desert formations more. However, oceanic currents as well as the anticyclonic conditions are also important factors which form and which are involved into the formation of the hot deserts of the world. But most of the hot deserts of the world are naturally exist. These are naturally exist. These are characterized with the rapid rate of evaporation, and source region of the humidity is very less. Because in the desert areas, we see the lesser amount of the vegetations are there. Natural vegetations are very less. Evapotranspiration is more, as well as the evaporation rate is very high. Precipitation is below the 25 millimeter, and that causes for the very arid conditions in that area. And that leads the most of the mechanical weathering or the disintegration of the soil occurs in these arid areas or in the hot deserts of the world, because of the less amount of the moisture in the soil, because of the less amount of the soil pore and the soil air, because of the less vegetations, we experience the very lesser amount of the rainfall in that areas. And that dry land characteristics are responsible for the movement of the sand dunes towards the surrounding areas. And we see that wind as a erosion agent are more responsible in the arid conditions in the hot deserts of the world. That's why these hot deserts are natural regions where the xerophytes occurs. And the process of that desertifications, if the fertile land are degrading, if the Indo-Gangetic plain is degrading because of the Thar desert, then we can say that there is the desertification. If our soil fertility is losing, if our mineral contents, especially the phosphorus, nitrogen are decreasing, then we can say that our land is degrading. If our land use pattern, suppose there is the forested land and we have converted it into the commercial lands or the residential areas, then we can say that that land is differently utilized. So land use pattern is one of the important factor that that is involved into the desertification. The farming conditions, farming characteristics are the important factors that causes for the degradations of the soil and the land resources. In subtropical high pressure belt, we experience these desert formations more. Then geography of everyday life, it is also associated with the desertification. Everyday life, we see how much we utilized about the carbon credit or how much we utilize the water resources. From where the water resources are coming? What is our daily lifestyle? The technology, science, our way, our perceptions to the environment, our perceptions to our surroundings, the forestations, deforestations, wood, and our standard of life, norms of life, and our values of life, that also influences the desertification, and that is also associated with these environmental issues and the problems. Let us see how these desertifications affect to the particular climate in the different way. This is the map, that is the vulnerability of the desertification problems, and we see that 40% of the fertile land is degraded because of the desertification. Land degradation is more in the desert areas, in the grassland areas, or you can say that semi-arid or the dryland areas. If we experience these climatic features or the climatic characteristics, mostly the dryland climatic characteristics, then we can say that we are facing the desertifications. These areas are highly vulnerable, which are shaded with the yellow and the gray conditions. These are the Sahara deserts we can see in Africa, and in Californian desert, Arizona desert, Kalahari desert, Atacama, and western part of the Australia, we can see that grayish color that shows the important areas over the world, that these areas are the important reason where we experience the desertification more. There are the problems of the hot desertification and the cold desertification also, cold desert also. There is the cold desert also in the mid latitudes areas in the Central Asia. We see the Taklamakan desert or the areas near the Gobi desert. We see the fragments of the frozen ices, the ice crystals that is also moving towards another area, and that causes for the melting. But and it started for the water logging problems in the areas around the Mongolia and areas near to the Central Asia or the Gobi Desert or the inner mid-latitude deserts. So there is the problems from the hot deserts also, as well as the cold desertifications also. These areas are the dryland areas, which are more important in terms of the desertification problems. We see that white and the orange colors as well as the yellow colors, these areas are much affected with the desertification problems. In United States of America and Canada, we see that the eastern part of the California and the eastern part of Mojave deserts are these areas where western part of the North America, this Kalahari desert, Atacama desert. In India, we see the Thar desert, and it's approaching towards the northeastern sides and covering to the areas of the Uttar Pradesh, western part of the Uttar Pradesh, as well as the Punjab, Haryana, and the few parts of the Rajasthan. These are the areas which are most prone to the dryland characteristics and the dry areas and dry features. These are the general causes of the desertification. We know that the overgrazing, we have the lots of livestock. In India are the countries of the Africa, like the Kenya, Nigeria, which are near to the sub-Saharan belt of the of the African continent. In Australia also, the livestock farming is more important. In Argentina also, livestock farming is more important, where the much of the population are dependent over the livestock farming and the animals rearing and the animal based the economic activities like the dairy farming or the milk productions or the woolen industries. These are the important zone where the economic activities are dependent over the livestock. But these livestock and their increasing number in India, that also causes to the problems of the reductions of the lands that are grasslands that are required for the grazing. And most of the areas in the Rajasthan as well as the Haryana where the livestock are more, but the land is going to be scarce. And because of that overgrazing, the soil binding, the root that bind the soil, the water that is there, the microorganism of the soil, humus of the soil, nutrients of the soil, overall top soil are being damaged. And that is the most important problems due to overgrazing. This desertification is increasing day by day and changing the landscape into the fertile land, into the dry lands, or into the desert areas or the less fertile areas, and that is responsible for the desertification in some way. Deforestations, we know how the forests are important in binding the soil, in making the land fertile, as well as in making the reductions of that movement of the alluvial erosion, that is the erosion from the from the wind. Wind-borne erosion is being balanced by the forested land. It provides not only the soil capillary actions or the soil holding capacity or the moisture that provides to the soil, but it also affects to the protection of the soil and the protections of the land from the degradations from the wind erosion or from the alluvial form of the erosion. Farming practices, that is one of the important aspects in our country or in the developing world or in most of the world. In the areas of Israel, we can see, we can learn from something from that areas also. In Israel, cloud busting and whatever the cloud water or the whatever the precipitation that occurs in the very minimum areas where the desertification problem is there, they try to make and store that the rainfall water and surface water, and it diverted towards the agricultural land. There is a different significant type of the land resource management and the water resource management in that area. In desert, sometimes we experience the cloud busting or the rapid rate of the water or the flood that causes to the that flood that causes from the cloud bursting and the rapid downpour of the water. But what happened with that downpoured water? Whether that is utilized for the for our protections of the environment, or whether that has utilized for the damaging of the land, we can make it in the balance order. We can divert that over water or the waterlogged areas into the chain of the networks of and distribute it judiciously over the areas which are arid and sub-arid regions. So farming practices, how much water we require, how much fertilizers we should be there. Otherwise, it will lead toward the alkalinity of the soil as well as the salinity of the soil. The salinity of the soil, alkalinity of the soil is another way where the huge land resources are degraded in the regions where the salt compositions are more in the inland water networks, especially in the Gujarat, Rajasthan, and the areas where the aquaculture is practices are near to the coastal areas of the western coast and the eastern coast of the India. Urbanization, industrialization, and the land development. Urbanization, we know that is the process of the demography or as well as the economy also. Urbanization indicates about the agglomeration of the economy, or the peoples are the more number of the population that are concentrated over smaller land areas. Our population density is more. In India, it is called as the 400 persons per square kilometer, or the much of the population are involved into the non-farming sectors or the non-agricultural sectors, mostly involved in the trade and the other economic activities. That urbanization attack the population. Urbanization has the magnetic characteristics, or you can say that urban areas has potential to attract the more population. And that's why the demand of the more water, demand of the more land resources, and the expansion of the urban sprawl causes for the much damage of the land resources, not only in the center of that urban cities or the urban central business district, but the fringe areas, the urban fringe areas where the quality of water is being affected and quality of water is being minimized. And that's why we see in the metropolitan cities are like the Chennai and the other areas, you know that cementifications are the cemented lands. If the land is being cemented, if there is not the natural reservoirs like the tank as well as the pokhras, the tank and the smaller rivulets, the Chennai urban flood and the Chennai degradation, land degradation or the desertification not only mean about the accumulation of the soil particles or the nutrients from the dry lands towards the inland areas, and the fertile land is being changed into the infertile land, but desertification also means about the changing pattern of the of the land uses, the infertility because of the in situ problems, because of the reductions of the soil nutrients, because of the larger level of the exploitation of the land resources into the different form, into the different pattern, and that ultimately leads to the desertification, in situ desertification in the place of the origin. Then we can say that climate change and the soil erosion. Global temperature is increasing, and we know that 1.7 degrees Celsius of the average atmospheric temperature has increased from 11 degrees Celsius. The pre-industrialization level, the global atmospheric temperature was different, and now it has been changed from at the rate of 1.7 degrees Celsius. That increasing global warming and its trends causes for the amount of the water decreasing of the land resources, because the land heating capacity and the water bodies heating capacities are different with each other. Water bodies have larger amount of specific heat that is required to raise the temperature of the 1 degree Celsius. The much heat is required from the water surfaces, but the land surfaces, we require the less amount of the temperature to raise the 1 degree Celsius of the land temperature. If we require lesser temperature of the land resources or the land areas that is solid in nature to be raised of the 1 degree Celsius temperature, it means we require lesser temperature. But if the atmospheric temperature is increasing, then whatever the amount of the water will be there in the soil air or the soil pore or the soil bites, that will be degraded, that will be minimized. Whatever the water nutrients are there, the soil loosening process will be started more because of the rapid rate of the temperature, and that is increasing day by day because of the global warming and the global atmospheric temperature. So climate change is the effect of the desertification, as well as climate change causes the desertification in the way of the global warming and the increasing rate of the temperature at the larger level. Then we can say that soil erosion is a very complex process where we see the gully erosion or the erosion from the surface runoff, overgrazing, or the soil erosion because of the multiple factors where the soil particles are dismantled by the different industrial, economic, anthropogenic, human, and the cultural formations and the cultural sites. Natural disaster, dust storm, etc. Natural disaster has like the drought, famine, as well as the natural disasters of the different way that also causes like the dust storm, sandstorm, thunderstorm may also causes for the cyclonic movement or the anticyclonic movement, rapid cyclone. Like the cyclone also carries with the rapid velocity of the wind, it has the abrasion characteristics also, abrasion and the traction that causes the land fragments or the fragments of the land that is there in the atmospheric volume or the atmospheric parcel of air. It has the abrasive characteristics also. It deflate the whole nutrients in a one wash way, and that deposited in the another areas from the coastal regions. Like in coastal areas, we see the sand. When that sand is expanding towards the inland areas with the tropical cyclone, what will happen? It deposits and it removes the topsoil and deposits the sand soil, which has the less fertility level and the nutrients level. That also causes the damage to the land areas, and because of the dust storm. The growth of the population has the multiple causations for the desertification. Increasing rate of the population, we require more water. If we require more water, then our dependency over the fresh water and the underground water will be more. If there will be the underground water and the demand is more, that is very lesser in amount, about the 3% of the water are the fresh water, and among 3% water, 0.07 and the less than that waters are there at the underground level. and dependency over that underground water level cause for the multiple utilizations in the domestic, agricultural and industrial purposes. Then we see the huge level of the water shortages and the water scarcity is there in the areas where the desertification is there. The rapid growth of the population that will demand the more resources, and that demand of the more resources causes for the more exploitation of the natural resources, and ultimately we leads toward the desertification because of the deforestations, because of the industrializations and the urbanization in somehow. So each and every problems in the biospheric ecosystems are associated with each other. In Urdu there is the sher, we can quote it that हर एक शय से जुड़ी है हर एक शय यहाँ, एक फूल अगर तोड़ो तारों का दिल हिलेगा. It means that each and every elements of the ecosystem,
माशाल्लाह,
the biospheric ecosystem are associated with each other. If we pluck a flower, then sure the heart of the star will weep, because it is the solar energy or the sun's energy that is utilized by the flowers and the plants in their photosynthesis, and that release the huge amount of energy in the ecosystem, and the whole functions of the biospheric ecosystem is being run by that whole solar energy, and as well as the different changes and modifications of that energy into the different form. So the problems are there among the human beings itself, as well as its desire and the need. The nature has their own way of its preservations, but the human beings with their forces, with their greed, had tried to change the land and other forms of the resources, and that ultimately leads toward the reductions of the land resources. Suppose the whole global areas are constant, but the populations are increasing and the demand is increasing, then our dependency over the technology will be sure more. That will be the another way of the solutions for the food resources and the food preservations. But ultimately it will cause for the unsustainable means of the utilization of the resources, and ultimately it leads to the destructions of the environment and desertification. Then another way, let us see about how these overgrazing and degradations as a problems are influencing the ecosystem. We see here the grasslands, and we can see in another side there is the forested land, but that grasslands and the arid areas are decreasing in day by day because of that over dependency of the livestock over the limited resources of the grasses, and the uproot of the grasses from the soil, and the land resources and the soil will be damaged and degraded. Then we can say the general impact of the desertification. If there will be the different type of the farming activities will be there, that will be changed. Our land use pattern will be changed. If we are using the millets and the cash crops, then if the demand will be increased, then our orientation will be towards the food crops. If there is the food crops, but the relative frequencies and the need of that nutrients are reduced, then our cropping pattern will be changed. There will be the migrations. The way of the cultivation will be changed. The crop combinations will be changed. Crop intensity will be changed. The grass cropped area will also be affected. Then that will lead ultimately towards the drought and the hunger. Flood is also associated with that desertification. Flood, that is another form of the natural disaster, is also associated with the desertification. Flood, generally we see that the wash away because of the huge rainfall above the normal. If there is the more than average rainfall, then approximation of the flood will be more. If there will be the average rainfall below the average rainfall, then the drought will be occurred. And if there will be the larger rate of the reductions of the forested areas or the desertification will be there, then there will not be, the soil have not will be able to to the soil porosity or the absorption of the water beneath the soil, or the trickling down of the soil precipitation or the rainfall water will be affected. That happens in the urban flood of the areas of the Chennai, and Chennai flood is the classical example of that, of the flood because of the land use changes and the land degradation and desertifications. Poor water quality. If the water will be lower down, the water table will be decreased down within the aquifer level. If the water will be alkaline, the salt proportion will be more. The alkalinity of the soil would be more because of the desertification, and the TDS value will be added. The pH value of the soil and the water will be changed, and that will ultimately leads towards the problems related to the health and the diseases. How the systemic problems are related with each other, and one problem affects to the and causes for the generation of the other problems and other problems in the ecosystem and the environment. Let us see about the desertification and the basic and general environment. The vulnerable areas of the desertifications are generally related to their climate. I have told in the earlier time that the climate that is known as the average weather characteristics of a larger area and for a longer span of time, in terms of temperature, pressure, humidity, rainfall amount, wind movement, cyclone, anticyclone. These weather events are being generalized in the particular areas, then we can term the particular areas or the region are having different climate. If we are living in the tropical areas, then we must have the experiences of the desert in one region to the another region. Like in India, in the tropical belt of India, we experience the Thar Desert. There in Africa, the Saharan Desert, Sub-Saharan Desert. In the southern hemisphere, Australian desert is there. These desert formations are having the certain environmental characteristics, and that naturally exist. And that is because of the atmospheric pressure and the stability of the air, which does not have potential to the much rainfall in that area. That naturally cause. That's why the climate and our locations within that climate is the one of the important zone of the vulnerability. If we are living in the areas of Punjab, Haryana, and the dryland areas, the sure the desertification process will experience be more in compared to the coastal area of Kerala and the other part of the Tamil Nadu and the other zone. In which climate we are living? Southern part of India is in equatorial belt of the earth surface. That is between the 10° north and the 10° south latitude. But the northwestern part of India are more prone for the desertification because of their natural existence into that particular climate. That is naturally located in the subtropical belt of area. But we can minimize and we can balance this desertification process in that areas in the northwestern part of India. Topography. How the topography is very influential in desertification process. If we are in Indo-Gangetic plain, if we are living in the coastal areas, if we are living at the mountain, then the desertification process are having the different nature. In mountainous area, the land degradation is because of the landslide and the soil creep and the flash flood in the different way. The arid erosion or the wind movement capacity to evolve the desert, the mountainous deserts are lesser possibilities. But if we are living in the Indo-Gangetic plain, then we are more prone because of the level ground, that has not that much elevation. In Western Ghat region, Western Ghat protects the soil because of the huge luxurious growth of the vegetations. But the human beings are much responsible to change and make it hot spot region of the biodiversity, where the land degradation are having the different nature. Western Ghat is much protected land from the nature in terms of the preservation from the desertification because of the mountainous areas and its ability to uphold the water as a barrier from the southwest monsoon that causes for the much luxurious growth of the plants and the trees in terms of evergreen rainforest in the region. But there may be the anthropogenic reason for the land degradation in that areas, which are naturally given a very good. There is the quotation from the Rousseau that everything which comes from the hand of nature is good, but when it goes to the man, it distorted. हर वो चीज जो कुदरत से मिलती है, that is very good, very nice. When it goes to the man, then it distorted. इसमें distortion शुरू हो जाता है. Reduction of the top soil. Soil cover changes. Soil cover means what are the things that cover the soil, whether it is the grass or the tree or the shrubs or the herbs or the residential areas or the cement that covers the soil. That will leads to the different ways of the desertification in that areas and that region. Infertility of the soil, reduction of the moisture of the soil. Soil moisture is very important. That is the abode of the huge millions and billions of the microorganism, humus, and that is the soil itself. It is formed 1 centimeter of the soil is formed, and that takes about the 2000 years and more than that because of the natural formation of the soil. But how much we are responsible for damaging the topsoil layer, and that causes for the whole soil cover is become infertile, and the topsoil has loosened its capacity to raise the crops further and for the agricultural productions. These are the areas where the desertification environments are associated with each other. Then let us see about the certain case studies where the desertification process are mostly involved into damaging their environment and the regional extent of their problems. In Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, including the Libya, Algeria, Morocco, Nigeria, Niger, Chad, until Burkina Faso, we see the whole range of the sub-Saharan belt of Africa, where these are called as the Swahili region because of their belongingness to the sub-Saharan Africa. We see the acute level of the desertification in that areas because of the very less rainfall, because of the very high level of the evaporation and potential evapotranspiration rate, because of the less amount of the vegetation. This area is one of the important dryland area or the hot deserts of the world, where the problems of desertification is more, and that is expanding and covering the savanna desert, including the Sudan deserts also, Sudan type of the climate, and savanna grasslands also. And it is expanding towards the southern sides also. And the whole Swahili belt are under the threat of that acute level of desertification. In northwestern China, we see the Mongolia or the Gobi Desert. That is the important reason where we experience the larger level of the dust storm and the Central Asian wind. That is the hot and dry wind that carries much amount of the particles and the fragments of the Gobi Desert area, and even that influencing the Beijing and Peking and the Xinjiang valleys also, Huanghe valleys also. Lowest plain is one of the important classical plain that has been formed by that by the desertification process in the northwestern part of China. In northwestern part of China, including the Central Asian region. We see the local winds are also very important in carrying forward to the loosened materials are the fragmented materials, and that also occupied to the fertile ground of the China also, including the Mongolia and the Xinjiang province of the China. We can also experience this Gobi Desert problem that is not much far from the western part of the Himalaya or the northwestern part of the Himalaya, and that is also being influenced and forming the different type of the desert, and that belongs to important problems that is generated from that mid latitude desert of the Gobi and Taklamakan deserts of the China. In region around the Thar Desert, we see in India, the Thar Desert is expanding with the rate of 0.5 kilometer per year. Thar Desert is approaching towards the northeastern India, towards the northeastern directions at the rate of 0.5 kilometer per year. Then we can visualize how much danger that the approaching of the Thar Desert towards the inland India is causing and damaging, and we have the potential to damage, to reduce the fertile ground of the India, of the Indo-Gangetic plain that is formed, and that have taken the thousands and millions of years to make that land fertile from the alluvial deposit and from the deposit, from the sediments that is carried by the river water. Sedimentations, siltations, that is another problem is associated with the desertification, that is because of the Thar Desert and its locations, and the effect of the surrounding areas because of these influencing and approaching towards the inland areas. We can also see that the Haryana that is located in the semi-arid region, in the dry land areas. Haryana is Punjab, that is, the aridity is occurring more. You can see the in western part of Haryana, that is known as the Bangal areas of the Haryana and Rajasthan. We see the less amount of rainfall also that is naturally exists, but the tube well agricultural irrigation, the way of irrigation to the land and increasing rate of the productivity during the green revolution, agricultural revolution during 1960s and 70s, 65, and their effect is nowadays is experiencing in the way of the reduction of the water table, reduction of the soil fertility, desertifications because of the rapid rate of the productions, because of the non-fallowing of the ground and the non-rotation of the crops, and the overutilization of the land resources, and the non-considerations of the agroclimatic regions. Agroclimatic regions are the agro-agricultural regions, are agri-climatic regions, are agroecological regions, must be under the considerations while practicing any type of the farming over the region. That is very important. If we are not considering the agroecological characteristics of any regions, and if we are raising the crops that is not suited to that particular climatic features or climatic characteristics, then sure the soil and the conditions of the farming will be affected. If we are raising the rice in the wheat producing areas into the temperate belt, we are introducing the tropical crops into the temperate areas, then sure that will damage to the whole agro and the climatic characteristics and damage to the soil characteristics of that areas. So considering the agroecological conditions of that areas are very important if we want to the sustainable agriculture and for the preservation of the soil resources and the land resources from that degradations. Then let us see that sandstorm. That is the example of the Arizona desert of the US. But that sandstorm during the storm or thunderstorm, or during the storm seasons, rapid wind movements is approaching towards the surrounding areas, and that carries to the various fragmented materials, soil materials, and the other types of the materials, and that change to the topsoil of the another region, and that also reduce the water content into the areas of the introductions. Let us see about how desertification affects to the groundwater. We know that the groundwater is the precious resource that is highly utilized by the increasing number of the population, and this groundwater resources are the one of the important components of the hydrological cycle, in which we see the evaporated water reaches to the atmosphere and its temperature decrease down and the condensation take place. And when after the condensation, water moisture converted into the water droplets, and we receive the amount of precipitation and then fall into the larger water droplets, and that is being trickled down underground, and that becomes the underground water at aquifer. But if the desertification will increase, the amount of soil moisture will be decreased. So there will be the decrease of the underground water level. The precipitation rate also will be affected. The rain spell or the rainfall duration, consecutive durations of the rainfall will also being affected, and that will cause to the lesser amount of the rainfall area which will be received, and there will be the changes in the rainfall pattern. अभी एक दिन बारिश हुई और कई दिनों तक नहीं हुई. Consecutive rainfall that is indicated by the rain spell, that is very important for the ground, for the soil and underground water, and for the functioning of the hydrological cycle in the smooth way that is being affected by the desertification process. Even the surface runoff in the form of rivulets, in the form of river that requires the water, surface runoff characteristics will also be affected, and the gully erosion and the different type of the erosions will be there. If there will be the rapid rate of cloud bursting or the reduction of the amount of rainfall will cause further reductions in terms of the drought conditions, siltations, mixing of the salty water with the underground water reserves, and ultimately that will leads to the water pollutions in the larger way. Impact on biodiversity. We know that the biodiversity is the most important resources of the biospheric ecosystem. Biodiversity indicates about the variations and richness in terms of the species of plants and the animals. That also indicates about the variations at the genetic levels, species level, and the ecosystem level or the habitat level over the environment. And because of the desertification, we lose the number of species of the plants and animals. And we know that about 1 million of the plant and the animal species are being under threat or extinct among the 8 million species of the biodiversity. About 800 million hectares of the land are degraded because of the these desertification. There is a particular habitat that is required by each and every animals. That habitat provides the carrying capacity and the resources for their survival. If the habitat will be loosened, if the habitat will be lost by the socio-cultural, technological and environmental activities, then the replacement ratio or the replacement level will be affected. And we see the loss of the alpha, beta and gamma biodiversity is experienced because of the huge level of the biodiversity characteristics, of the huge level of the desertification of the environment. And these not only related with the of the larger plants and the animals, but the microorganisms or microbiota are also being affected by these desertification problems that will lead towards the threatening of that different type of the biodiversity level about the species, genetic and ecobiological diversity. What will be, however, the ANA has talked much about the socio-economic impact of the desertification, but that environment also includes the another component, that is the cultural and the human component of the environment, that also affects, that is also being affected by the environmental damages, especially from the desertification side. We see the food shortage and insecurity. We know the how the land use pattern will be changed, and how the fertile ground becomes infertile, and how the infertility is caused by the desertification process, and ultimately that reduce the level of the productions of the crops and the about the crops and the as well as the agricultural activities, and ultimately that leads to the food shortages and the food insecurity. Much of the population are dependent over that agricultural economy or the agricultural activities at the global level, especially in the developing countries of the world. If that land will be degraded, that will lead to the unemployment to the populations who are dependent over that land in the different way, and the migration problem will be started. Unemployment will lead towards the displacement of the population. Migration problems will be started, and much of the ethnic and the crisis and the geopolitical crisis or the political crisis, including the war that is experienced in the African continent and the continent of the Asia. We see these problems of the desertifications are rooted, or the food insecurity, problems of the resource degradation, land resource degradations are most importantly involved into the causes for the ethnic and political crisis of the region, especially in the areas of the Africa and the sub-Saharan Africa. How can we be able to combat this desertification? ANA has talked about the various integrated development program and Pradhan Mantri Krishi Yojana and the different land use management and agricultural based management. In short, we can say that there must be the integral part of socio-economic development program. Desertification after the independence of India, we see the much of the plan and the policies have included these problems at the central level, including the community development program, integrated area development program, and others. But in that program, that has not been participatory in approaches. We need the local populations to be involved. Ultimately, the native population, the regional population, local population group, which are living in that areas, that are central and that are experiencing that problems more at acute level. So their participations are must be central in the policy framework and the program framework to combat this problem of desertification. However, there is the general ways like the forestation, reforestation, scientific way of cultivations, land resource management, rainwater harvesting. Every drop of water is very important. You know that in Kalahari Desert, there is the huge water scarcity. We see the native population which are living in the Kalahari Desert, they wake up early in morning and they collect the dew from the leaves. पत्तियों के ऊपर से ओस की बूंदों को इकट्ठा करते हैं. You can see and imagine how much problem that is facing by the communities who are living in dry land and who are living in this arid, semi-arid and the dry land areas of the world. We cannot create the new land areas because that is the land and the total land areas are fixed, but we can reduce the changes of the fertile land into the infertility ground or the infertile land. We can preserve the fertility of the soil that is existing today. Otherwise, there will be a larger number of the population will be in the threat in that problems. Science